Hi, I'm Rachel, and I'm so excited to introduce you to Josh and Abby Land, a couple who became parents by becoming foster parents. You're gonna love them. I'm Rachel Hubbard, Director of Second Chance Ranch, and I get to do the interviewing today, so I'm super excited. I'm here with some good friends of mine, Josh and Abby Land. They are foster parents with Second Chance, and they foster in their home, so they're what we call community parents. And when we originally recruited them, they were going to be foster parents to one child, and we've conned them into 3 at this moment, so that's pretty cool. They're just great people. I think you guys are going to love hearing their story today and getting to know a little bit about Josh and Abby. So let's just start. You guys tell us a little bit about who you are and what you do outside of foster. Who are you besides foster parents?
I work, of course I start with my work, but I work with I work with Landers Local Auto Group. I help buy cars and just manage used car departments and try to take care of my customers. And yeah, I mean, we're pretty involved with our church. I like to help out with worship on Sundays. And
what do you do with worship?
I play the guitar mostly.
Did not know that.
Yeah.
That's cool.
You know, I don't like to be front and center typically. So, but I like to play the guitar, and I mean, that's kind of the short.
Yeah. Abby, what about you? What do you do?
I'm Abby. I am an orthopedic physical therapist, and so I work full-time at an outpatient physical therapy clinic where I treat people for low back pain, knee pain, surgeries, all of those kind of things. And I've been doing that for about 3.5 years. And like you said, we're involved in our church. We've got good family friends, hang out, nothing too big.
So both work full-time outside the home.
Yes.
And you guys don't have any biological children of your own.
No.
So you became parents when you became foster parents.
Yes.
That's correct.
We'll come back to that in a second because I think that's a particularly fun challenge. How long have y'all been married for?
We've been married for 6.5 years.
Okay. And how long have y'all been fostering for?
Almost 2 years.
Almost 2 years. Okay. So what was everyday life like before we started fostering? What were y'all doing in your downtime? What do y'all love to do, enjoy as a couple?
We've managed to keep ourselves fairly busy for the last 6 years. I mean, and I say that we thought we were busy before we had kids, which I think a lot of people can relate to.
Yeah.
But we before we had kids.
Do you remember before?
Yeah, it's very very vague.
I noticed you seem a little fuzzy in this area.
It is a little fuzzy, for sure. But you know, we like to go hike on the weekends, and we like to, we probably watched a lot of TV, and we were still involved with the church, and I mean, I don't know.
You're getting to do whatever you want.
Yeah.
Date night every night. Maybe we shouldn't talk about the old days. You maybe start missing that. Well, what made you guys decide that you wanted to get involved in foster care? Tell me about that process. How did you even hear about it?
So I was adopted as an infant, and so I've always known that I've wanted to do something with either adoption or fostering and get involved in the process whenever the time came. And I graduated with my doctorate and then did my residency in orthopedic physical therapy. Whenever I finished with that, I had like a ton of downtime and didn't know what to do with myself. So Josh told me to find a hobby.
And who doesn't want foster care to be their hobby?
Yeah.
You wish you would have gone with knitting or something.
Yeah, so I asked him.
Whittling.
Yeah.
I can't remember how it got brought up, but I was like, you know, now that I'm done with this, we can start looking into fostering and adoption.
Yeah,
and stuff
it was
like
always
that.
kind of the long-term plan.
Yeah.
I think, you know, even when we were dating, we would talk about what do we want our life to look like, and that was always kind of part of it. Even beyond, you know, do we want to have kids one day? It's like, well, we could have our own biological kids, but we don't really feel a need to necessarily do that. I feel like was kind of atypical. It's both of us kind of, you know, if it happens, it happens. But we really, what we really want is to adopt. Really was the direction we were going.
Yeah.
But he had a contact through work that is involved in the ranch.
He's very involved in the ranch.
And so.
And he's a pushy guy too.
He's a little pushy.
So I think he gave the hint that he might maybe possibly be interested in sitting down with somebody, and then.
To my credit, I asked him about it.
Okay.
And you know, of course, the rest is history. But
I think we sat down with Josh interested in possibly becoming a respite family.
Oh, yeah, maybe just a little part-time babysitting.
I wanted to
here
dip my
and
toe in the water.
And
yeah.
I wanted nothing to do with
And
that.
as soon we started taking these classes and doing these video things, and then all of a sudden we're being introduced to this sibling group of 2, and you know, and
then you're done after that.
And then Abby falls in love.
We typically take people a little further than they plan to go, you know.
Yeah.
You're like, we're going to babysit. We'll take 1 kid. And now y'all are up to 3. So.
Yeah.
But that's the thing is, like, it really doesn't, like, I don't remember, like, waterboarding you guys or really twisting your arm too hard, because it is one of those things where when you hear about the need, it is so hard to just say, well, I just want to stay comfortable. You know, like, everybody wants to be comfortable and do, you know, something for the Lord within their little box and everything. And we start out that way. But when you see something as raw and real as children who have been heinously abused and who literally have no one to call their family, at least for the time being, it's like, man, you have to have a heart of stone to just decide that you're just going to do the easy route after that. Was that y'all's experience?
Yeah, and I think, like, on the outside looking in, there seems like there's so many hurdles and burdens and barriers to getting through to all that. And not that those things don't exist, but I think if God wants you to do it, those things tend to flow and come, and resources come before you even know that you need them a lot of the time.
Yeah.
I was, you know, we were asked by our church kind of early on, maybe 6 months in or something, to kind of say something to the congregation. And what I felt like was put on my heart was just to let people know, it's like our job oftentimes isn't to be the deciding factor in whether or not we're capable of doing something. Mm-hmm. If God puts it in front of you, your job's to say yes.
Yeah.
And just to let him be the strength through that, and to let him be the mastermind. Your job's just to say yes.
Yeah, your job is just to say yes. I think that's a pretty good note to end on, and we'll be right back.
Hi there. I'm here to tell you everything you need to know about Arkansas Christian Academy. Are you ready? Okay, let's go. Our name is Arkansas Christian Academy, but most of us just say ACA around here. Our mascot is this guy. Go Knights! Founded in 2001, ACA has grown from only a few classes to having classes in pre-K all the way through 12th grade. As far as class sizes go, we are smaller on average across the board, and we use this to challenge our students academically and individually on a personal level, learning through the lens of God's Word in every subject and growing a personal relationship with Him through our amazing staff and in our daily chapel classes. For a full breakdown, check out our website at archristian.org, and feel free to explore other aspects of our school while you're there. Now, let's go outside. Our still growing campus sits right off I-30 and is protected by gates and doors with magnetic locks, only accessible by faculty and staff. We also have these guys here every day. But seriously though, safety is a priority here at ACA, as we want to ensure not only a quality education, but an environment where learning can flourish without fear or other outside distractions. Now, let's move on to the fun stuff. Here's a shot of our football field, a playground, some kids, another playground, our main gym, a football field again, and this is our brand new middle school. What else?
What about extracurricular activities?
That's right, here at ACA, we offer all different kinds of sports, but that's just the beginning. We have a broadcasting class, spoiler alert, it's really cool, a music and worship program, theater, and a thriving art program complete with a very active yearbook committee.
Wow.
There you have it. Schedule a tour today and find out what all the buzz is about at Arkansas Christian Academy.
Hey everybody, I'm Rachel and I'm here with Josh and Abby Land, foster parents for Second Chance Ranch. And we were just talking before the break about when you see that need, your job is to say yes. And I think it's almost like, I don't ever think, well, I want to be a nurse or a doctor, or I want to help people who have just had car accidents. But man, if I was driving down the road and I saw a horrific car accident and no one was there to help yet, I'm going to stop and help, And that's almost what foster care is. Like when the veil gets torn back and you see the need right in front of you, you want to take action. And that's exactly what you guys have done. And I love the way that you had an idea in your head, but then you've let God stretch you and change that idea to fit Him. And that's hard when we have plans. You guys are achievers, you're goal oriented, you have these great careers, and y'all are very structured people, especially Josh.
Yes.
One time Abby showed up to this chili event where you had to bring your own soup or chili. Now, everybody else brings a crock pot, but not Abby. Hers are in these little individual containers with all the ingredients with a lid, so she can take them all off and put it in the pot. And I'm like, I've never seen that before. And she says, Josh made me promise to bring them this way because you don't want a drop spilled in your car, right?
That's exactly what the intention was.
How has this been to throw this chaos into your home when you're generally a pretty structured guy?
I think there's definitely been some compromises along the way with what does constitute a clean and tidy house. You kind of have to get creative with some of your definitions, but I think too. A lot of the structure has become almost, I feel like, one of our superpowers with some of these kids. A lot of them seems like they haven't really had a whole lot of structure. Yeah. There hasn't been a whole lot of, knowing what's coming next, knowing, okay, it's this time, what does that mean? It's bedtime. What does bedtime mean? We go through the same routine every single day. We clean up our toys. And then what we've seen, I think, with all of our kids is them develop, especially the younger ones, they start to develop like a sense of pride around that. I can't tell you how many times our current kiddos have, Daddy Josh, and they grab me and run me into their room to show me that they cleaned up their room without even me asking them to. I think it's definitely been a learning experience for me, but I think it's also it's shown me the value of the structure and shown me what's the point of it all. You kind of have to almost backtrack and go back to the basics of, well, why? Yeah. Why do we do this? Yeah. Well, we do it because we want to take care of the things that we have. We want to have a sense of pride about things. We want to manage our expectations and be realistic about things. And that's something that translates into the emotional kind of development. It translates into how well they do at school. It translates into everything.
And it also promotes safety, like feeling safe. Kids love the idea of being able to play and do anything they want, and that's pretty much been what most of our kids have experienced, like no structured parenting at all. But whenever, like, let's just say a kid's outside and able to play and run and do in the street and whatever, and you bring them to your house and you're like, well, we have this fence and you have to stay inside this fence. And at first that's frustrating and they don't understand why, but then they begin to realize that you've done that because you care and because that fence keeps them safe. And that's what all of this structure does, is teach them a way to live safely. And it's a big sign that you love them, that you care enough to implement some of these rules and stuff. Abby, tell us a little bit about who's in your house right now. Now, I know we have to protect names and we can't say that, but tell us like age and personality about each of your kids.
Yeah, so we have a preteen girl right now that we've had for about 4 months now. And she's hilarious.
She totally is.
She never means to be funny. But we were talking to another preteen girl on the phone, which is a sibling of the other kids that we have in the house. And we turned around and we're doing something, so I wasn't listening to the conversation. I turned back around and our oldest foster daughter was telling the preteen on the phone that she should really just focus on herself and her career, which was just a really funny thing to hear.
Who isn't there starting their career, at age 12?
Yeah, and she's super sweet and like super easygoing. And she sings all the time. Like sometimes we will have separate music on in the background, or our 2 foster sons that we have right now, our boys will be watching something and she will be singing an entirely different song at like max volume at 7 a.m.
While we're watching a movie in the evening, she'll be watching the movie and singing a song unrelated to the movie.
That is so cute.
Yeah, she's hilarious. And she never means to be, which makes it just funnier. Yeah. And then we have a younger boy that is in kindergarten right now, and then his little brother who is in pre-K. And the oldest of the brothers that we have is a total people pleaser, like very eager to like seek out authority and please, but also hilarious and into Sonic and Spider-Man and all the things. And then the youngest tends to be a little bit more of like your Sour Patch, hilarious kid, but also like likes to push buttons a little bit, and he's got this super mischievous smile, and he's got mostly silver teeth like right in the front, and so you'll see him smile and he bugs the heck out of the girl that we have right now, because he just knows how to just poke and prod just a little bit.
The amount of sarcasm that he's developed by age 4 is really, really impressive.
Did he learn that from either of you?
No, he came that way. I encourage it. I love it. It's fantastic.
Yeah. That's great.
No, you're good. Go ahead.
No, I was going to ask you, sometimes fostering does turn into adoption. Is adoption on the table for you guys with any of these kiddos?
Yes. So the brothers that we have right now, our intention is to adopt them.
And how did y'all make that decision? How did you know that those were the ones?
I mean, I think we knew it was a possibility. When you go into it, a lot of people, and this opens up a whole nother can of worms, but a lot of people, whenever they hear about, I would love to be a part of something like that, but I don't know if I could say goodbye. I don't know if I could, and I think that first of all, it helps going into it. You typically have at least somewhat of an idea of where is this going? Are they going back to their parents? Is that not looking like a very good option, right? So we knew going into it, so that was already on our minds, like this could be a possibility. We need to start thinking about this.
Yeah, and again, it comes back to that need thing. Like these were the 2 kids that were going to need to be adopted. Yeah. And so you start thinking about, well, are we available to meet that need?
Right.
We'll be right back.
My name is Kyler, and I am 11. I like to play video games. I'll ride my bike sometimes. That's really all.
Great, and tell me about school.
It is horrible.
Why is that?
'Cause.
Is there anything good about it?
Recess.
You have great teeth. Perfect. All right, if you will look at me. Hello. Perfect, then look right at me. Awesome.
What is a family?
People love you, care about you. I want to be adopted because I have a family. A family who go places a lot, do a lot, like to play video games. And that's really all. I want to be a YouTuber or a caseworker. I want to be a caseworker because I want to help people.
Hey, so we're here still with Josh and Abby Land, foster parents. And we were just talking about how you guys are moving forward more than likely with adopting two of the boys that are in your care. But you've had to say goodbye to some kids too. And I'm wondering, like, can you talk a little bit about what your connection has looked like with the two sisters that you guys had in your home previously? Have you stayed connected with them? And goodbyes are hard, but they're not necessarily complete goodbyes, right? Tell us about what's going on with those girls and your currently how you're connected to them, even though they've been reunified with family and they're no longer in your home.
Yeah, so it was uncertain at first, and I think that was what made it hard. I think sometimes in foster care that's what makes it really hard, is the uncertainties can be challenging. So whenever we had in the beginning a kind of on and off again relationship with their family that they reunified with, a lot of learning experiences I think for us. But so for a little bit we didn't know if we were going to be able to see them, and communication had been cut off for a little bit. And then the oldest sister that we had actually texted me on Mother's Day about a year ago and said Happy Mother's Day, and that's how we started talking with them again.
Which is cool, because there were points where I think you almost killed her and where she maybe hated you for a few moments anyway.
A decent amount of moments, I'm sure. Yeah, and so right now, as it stands currently, we have an amazing family friend that helps us kind of stay connected with some of our kiddos that we've had in our home. And so right now that looks like us going and getting them on mostly Sundays. It's been like this for like 2 months now, I think.
Yeah, they come to church with us quite a bit now,
really cool.
which is great, because their mom works typically most of the day on Sunday, and so we're able to get them and take them to church with us, and they hang out with us most of Sunday. So, and then we actually had another placement of sisters after that we still often see. We don't see them maybe quite as much, but they're also in a prospective adoptive situation potentially too. So. We get a lot of opportunities to
well, the thing about foster care is it never fits into this perfect box of this is what it's going to look like, and this is where our responsibilities begin, and this is where our responsibilities end. It is this like beautiful, messy thing that you just jump head first in, and you're like, God, just use me how you want to use me, you know? And sometimes it looks like connecting with a bio mom, you know, and sometimes it looks like letting kids who have already gone home come back to your home, and sometimes it looks like adoption. Sometimes it looks like letting kids move to another adoptive family because that's the right fit for them. And what I see with you guys is just such selflessness and such a yielding to the Lord, you know, is like, I just love your heart of, God, I don't know what the end is going to look like, but I'm here in the journey and I'm just going to trust you. Like, man, what a beautiful place to be, you know, and I've watched you guys grow into that, and I feel like y'all have changed so much in the amount of time that you've been doing this. Like, foster care has like shaken you up, and you guys have just come out stronger and stronger. Like, your walk with the Lord is so good, and the way that you just are yielded to whatever, you know. Can you speak to that a little bit, Abby, like how God has grown you through this process?
Oh my. So, and I like, he's like always very consistent and very constant. And so I think he's grown a lot too. I feel like I've probably been a more dramatic change. Change was always hard for me, so I don't know why I thought foster care was a good idea, which it was. It was a great idea, but it was like, I did not realize what I was signing up for exactly. But I think at the beginning, like, I had a lot of anxiety about like having people at our house, and like was very introverted, and I'm still introverted. But I remember about a year ago, we ended up having 7 kids for a weekend.
Just 7?
And at one point there were a few more that came over, and so there was like 8 or 9 kids at one point. And like I put all, and like I just gotten a new car, and so I like buckled all of the kids that were under the age of 6 like into their car seats, and we took them to the park, and Josh took all the teenagers to the park. And so it was like, and it was such a mess, but it was like, it was the first time that I sat back and I looked and I was like, this is chaos, but this is like so good. And so I think it's changed my capacity a lot. And I was talking to a friend about this the other day. It was like, foster care, like anytime a kid comes into my house now, especially a kid that you know that there's turmoil or you know that there's something, they don't even have to be in foster care. It's like they get a little piece of my heart, but your heart doesn't, like whenever they leave, your heart doesn't get smaller. It just feels like your capacity to love more and more kids grows.
Yeah.
And I think as long as like we stay connected to God through that, then I think that is good and healthy, and it's something that he honors, and that is one of the ways that I think he's grown us so much.
That's good. Yeah.
If anything, I think that I think it changes your perspective on what's important.
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, even just a few months ago, I was talking with somebody that I work with about, you know, how the important part of my day doesn't start until I go home.
Yeah.
You know, and it was the person I was talking to just was having kind of a hard time handling some of the market changes and the difficulties with work and all, and I started asking him about his home life and about his kids and about and you know, trying to, and that really truly is my mindset at this point. You know, a lot of things can happen while you're at work, and there can be a lot of stress involved in that, but the most important part of my day is not until I get home.
Oh, that's good. Yeah. Well, we have just a little bit of time left. What would you guys say to somebody who's thinking about fostering, but they're a little afraid to get out of their comfort zone? What would you say?
I would say it will absolutely get you out of your comfort zone. But I think, like we said at the beginning, it kind of brings us back full circle. Like, if you think you could do it, I bet you can.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
You know, and even if you think you can't, you probably can. It may not be, like, you are going to find your shortcomings and your breakdowns and all of those things, but I think the growth that you experience through that is amazing. And God will provide. Like your yes, like we said at the beginning, like yes is a very important step, and God tends to meet those needs, and we've seen that over and over and over again.
Yeah, absolutely.
I would go so far as to say, you actually can't.
Yeah,
you can't.
Yeah,
you don't have the capacity, but thankfully, it's not your job. To be the one who can. Mm-hmm. And if you're sitting there going, I don't think I can handle this. Well, the problem isn't that you couldn't be made to handle it. The problem is that you won't let God handle it.
Oh, you know? Conviction right there, Josh. And, yeah.
It's like something that one thing I just wanted that you said in one of these banquets, I think at one point, was these kids, the hardest part that people don't like is the saying goodbye, but like the kids deserve a goodbye, right? The kids deserve somebody who will cry for them.
So if you think you would cry whenever a kid leaves, or you're thinking about being a foster parent, you can do it with the Lord and with us. We would love for you to join us.